The letting go point is the most delicious experience that you have as humans. It is a moment that is full of wonder and awe. It is lining up with energy that exists always and that is always available to you, but hovers just outside your range of consciousness. We tell you this because we love you. We tell you this because you are deserving, and we tell you this because the timing, now more than ever, is perfect for you to receive new ideas, new impulses, new inspirations, and along with them, the life that you have always dreamed of. Everything around you is built by your beliefs, and the frequency of your beliefs affects the world around you. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. It's a wonderful day to read some channelings from higher density beings, and today I have a treat. We're reading The Creators, channeled by Daniel Scranton. We've now had a couple episodes where we read the channelings of The Creators. Daniel channeled them exclusively for several years and still channels them. They are definitely different than the Arcturian Council, and it's interesting to see a single channeler channeling different entities and sort of comparing them and the messages that seem to come across. I really enjoy reading these. They are more playful and a little bit more elastic, if that's the word I can say. They are focused on manifesting and the transition that we're going into this new Earth perspective. And they talk about deliberate intent, the frequency of a belief operating as source, the space in between thoughts. You are infinite eternal beings enjoying this transition period, the keys to creation, among a number of other subjects. I'm reading this from a book called Channeled Wisdom from Higher Dimensional Beings, Volume 1. Daniel has written several books from a variety of channeled entities, and I recommend them all. You can find information for Daniel in the description. The Creators, operating as source, deliberate intent. Stating your purpose is one of the ways in which you can solidify your intentions. When you think about what your purpose is within any endeavor that you are engaging in, you allow yourselves to get to the heart of what it is you are doing and why it is you're doing it. You give yourselves the opportunity to explore what it is that you're actually seeking by engaging in a particular activity. Why is it that I want to engage with this person? What is it that I am really seeking from my participation in this group meeting? What is it that I'm really seeking from my life? These are all questions that are worth exploring whenever you are considering doing something, when you have already committed to doing something, and when you are simply about to do something spontaneously. It is always to your benefit to know why you're actively engaging in something, because what you do in many ways will show you what it is that you believe and what it is that you stand for, and we want you to be very deliberate when it comes to the living of your lives. No more autopilot. No more doing something the way you are doing it because so-and-so does it that way, or because this is the way that humans have always done it. Ask yourselves what it is that is at the core of everything that you do, and use the activities of your life as windows into your vibration. We want you to seek out the vibration first, and we want to make your actions a reflection of that vibrational state that you wish to hold. So it is always worth examining everything that you're planning to do and that you have agreed to do, and that you tend to do without even giving much thought to it. Seek out your deepest and most core intentions for your lives and see how the actions that you are taking are either in harmony or out of harmony with those core intentions and with your desired frequency states. Let your lives be an example to others, and let your lives be a reflection to yourselves of that which you truly desire for yourselves and for the collective that you find yourselves in. Be aware of your purpose, of your intention, and of your vibration, and you will find that everything around you will complement those intentions, those purposes, and those vibrations in a beautiful, harmonious symphony of life. The frequency of a belief. The beliefs that you hold about anything are like the clay that you use to create with. When you consider something that you desire, And when you wish to manifest it into your life, you must consider that which you are creating with. So having a belief about yourself, about the world, about the particular desire that you hold, are the ingredients that you're using to create with. The belief is not as significant as the vibration of that belief. So you don't have to get too specific or too technical. You don't have to break a belief down. You don't have to change a belief. You don't have to even adopt a new belief, because all beliefs are limiting in some way. But it is good for you to know that the way that you've been creating is by using these third-dimensional concepts known as beliefs. So just ask yourself, how does this belief feel? And does that feeling match the feeling of my pure desire? If it does, then you are all set, and you can simply wait for the beautiful unfolding of your desire. But if you can sense a discrepancy, then all you have to do is practice your present moment awareness of frequency. And when you're able to tap into the frequency of your desire, you no longer need to be aware of those old beliefs that you had been carrying around. So creation is much easier than you think, because if you have to take all the time and effort to deconstruct every belief that you hold, then that will be your life, and your vibration will be a reflection of that effort that you are making. But if you just recognize the frequency and notice if it is in harmony with what you want to experience, then you can easily let go, because every moment is an opportunity for you to operate as a creator in the realm of frequency. And every desire that you have is really just an opportunity for this. It is like a placeholder for you. It is a calling for you. Your ride along the pathway of the frequency is what this joyous life is all about. So continue to use your desires to further your journeys, and just be aware of those beliefs as they make themselves aware to you. And by all means, have fun with this process. Operating as source. Start out with the assumption that you are a being of divine love and light. Then proceed from there. This assumption can be made no matter what the situation you're faced with. It is not something to pull out of your bag of tricks only when you feel that it is absolutely necessary to operate with that understanding. Instead, this is the basis of everything. When you recognize this and proceed with that understanding in your conscious awareness, you are able to navigate your life with far more dexterity and with much more pleasing results. You have all the source energy at your disposal, yet most of you are not tapping in to that reservoir of knowledge and energy and love. So we are encouraging you to set the frequency for all of your dealings and all of your interactions and all of your challenges at the source energy vibration, to pull yourselves out of the third-dimensional understanding of self and to take on the 13th-dimensional understanding of self while you make your way through this journey. You have also at your disposal everything that humanity has ever done, has ever thought, has ever felt. You have the collective consciousness of humankind to work with. So when you're faced with one of your challenges, when you're feeling yourself in a pit of despair, when you're in the midst of conflict with another, open yourselves to that knowing. Believe that it is possible for you to tap into resources that heretofore you have not even acknowledged exist. When you operate as a third-dimensional, separate, ego-based, mind-oriented being, then of course there is only so much you can do. But when you let go of that understanding of self, and you let in the unlimited, the eternal, the infinite, the all-knowing, then everything that is before you seems much more manageable. And in fact, you can see it all as a gift that you have given yourselves for the purpose of having a new experience. The space in between thoughts. Between the thoughts that you think are the moments of clear consciousness that give you the opportunity for new creations, new ideas, inspirations. These are the moments when you are at your best, when you have relaxed enough to allow communication from other aspects of self, guides, other beings who wish to enlighten you. It is when you are at your finest. It is when you are in the state of pure surrender to the moment. The letting go point is the most delicious experience that you have as humans. It is a moment that is full of wonder and awe. It is lining up with energy that exists always and that is always available to you, but hovers just outside your range of consciousness until you open up those channels by surrendering, by letting go, by existing in the moment. These are not new concepts for you. These are tried and true practices, but sometimes you forget. Sometimes you need to be reminded of how blessed you are, how taken care of you are, how supported you can be when you allow yourselves to be. It is that point between thoughts that we suggest you reach for in your everyday waking consciousness. It is not a difficult place to find because it is there all the time, waiting for you to be aware of it, to bask in it, to celebrate a break to your normal way of processing information and speculating and wondering and reminiscing and all of the things that you do to interfere with the transmissions. So believe in your ability to receive and let go long enough so that the link-up can occur and you can download some useful data. Simply make it your intention to become aware more and more of these opportunities and also practice the art of letting go and being silent and allowing that which is to reveal itself to you in all of the magical ways that it can. We tell you this because we love you. We tell you this because you are deserving, and we tell you this because the timing, now more than ever, is perfect for you to receive new ideas, new impulses, new inspirations, and along with them, the life that you have always dreamed of. You are infinite, eternal beings. Behold the truth of who you are. Be willing to accept your divinity. Put your focus on the parts of yourself that are eternal, because that is how you access the infinite. By focusing on what is temporary, you hold yourselves in a pattern that will only yield you more of what is temporary. But as you focus on your eternal nature, the love that is who you are, and your infinite expansive self, you cannot help but move forward. This is how you do it. We are not saying that you must transcend the physical or ignore or renounce the physical, but use the physical to give you the reflection that you need to recognize where you are holding yourselves back. By putting your focus and the majority of your attention on that which is eternal within you, you include all that is physical and all that is non-physical. So you're not choosing the non-physical or the ethereal over the physical. You're including all of it because it is not separate from you. But there is a tendency to ignore that which is divine within you as you focus more of your attention on what is outside or what seems to be outside of your physical structure. Take our word for it. There is nothing that is outside, but there is the perception. And that is what you've been working with. That is how you wanted to operate as third-dimensional beings. But as you discover more of yourselves, more of the frequency that creates the world around you, you find there are no boundaries and no limitations. This is the life you desire to live. If you look for that boundarylessness in financial wealth or in the power to manipulate others, you will be missing out on so much more. That is why we are guiding you back to your center, back to your core, back to your infinite nature, because we want you to have it all. And we want you to realize that everyone else can have it all too. Enjoy this transitional period. When you're able to comprehend the vastness of who you are, you can feel a bit overwhelmed, overstimulated. There can be some wariness on your part. It is not an easy transition whatsoever to move from the notion of a finite mortal individual to a multidimensional infinite being of love. There is perhaps no greater leap in one's understanding. That is why you have this period of time to help you make that transition. It is to your benefit to have this period where you're acclimating to that new understanding. It is less of a shock to have a gradual move from the way that you formerly knew yourselves and thought of yourselves to how you're going to be experiencing yourselves. That is why you all set it up in this very specific and well-planned way. We know that many of you are so excited and so eager to explore your fifth dimensional selves, to have the abilities that we have told you are within you. And reaching for that knowing of yourselves is also serving you very well. It is a frequency state that is already available to you, but you do not and cannot hold for a very long stretch of your linear time. So it is better for you to accept where you are and to enjoy the transition period. Let it be a period of wonder and a period of awe and excitement, rather than like sitting in the waiting room with your various outdated magazines to choose from. You can experience it in any way that you choose, and you are giving yourselves that opportunity to have a gradual movement. We like the analogy of stepping into a bath. When you put your toe in and then you pull it out, then put your toe in for a little longer and pull it out, then your whole foot, and then finally you can put your foot down, and then gradually you start with the other foot, and so on. That is how you're making your transition. But do not rob yourself of the enjoyment of this unique and wonderful place where you are. Love yourself through this process. Allow yourself to feel everything now that you still are operating as third-dimensional beings most of the time, and enjoy your dense physical structures and the experience that you can have of them, because just as you get all sentimental about periods in your life, you will feel that way about this period, and it is so much more to your benefit to just enjoy it now and see it all as perfect. But please know that there is more to come, and it will be infinitely satisfying. The keys to the creation. We are here for you. In our estimation, there has been a giant leap forward for the consciousness of humanity. This is part of the process of ascension. It is not happening in a very consistent way. You have moments where you will make a giant leap forward, and you will have periods of time where it seems that very little progress is being made. So what can you do with your giant leap forward? How can you begin to experience the benefits? Well, it all starts with a willingness on your part to do something that you have done many times before with varying levels of success. We're asking you to know yourselves as creator beings. We are asking you to put this faster moving energy to work, and we are doing so because we know there are things you would like to create in your lives. So we invite you to focus on those things and to simply allow the process to unfold. There is no efforting required on your part. You do not have to create for 30 minutes a day every day. All you need to do is focus on the feeling of what it is you are creating. Find the vibration of it, send the vibration out, and put yourselves in a relaxed and receptive state, rather than an anxious and impatient one. Give yourselves the experience of going with the flow of energy and allowing universal forces to take over. Begin to trust in the process. Trust that if you create something with your consciousness, then it must be experienced, and know that things do still take a little bit of your time to transpire and come to fruition in the physical realm. So we recommend that you go about your business as usual once you have put your creation out into the field. Do what you find most enjoyable, most exhilarating, most relaxing, and you will find that what you have created comes to you in the simplest and easiest way possible. This is how it is done. This is how it's going to be from this point forward. Ease, relaxation, and receiving, those are the keys to creation. We are the creators, and we love you very much. Sadness is an emotion that you do not hear that much about. It is one of those emotions that tends to be swept under the rug or ignored. You have more people talking about fear and anger than you do about sadness. Perhaps that is because you all feel like your sadness is a very personal experience, that it is not something to be shared or talked about. Perhaps you do not see the beauty in your sadness, and perhaps it is time that you do. You all experience sadness, and you all see it as something that you just get through. When someone that you love dies, you go through what you call your mourning period. And it is a solitary experience for most of you. Most of you are not gathering in groups to feel your sadness together, although certainly that is the intention of the funeral. We are here to grant you permission to explore sadness further, to give yourselves the opportunity to be with yourselves through your own sadness. We encourage you to talk about it and find others who want to express their sadness. Sadness does not need to learn something. You do not have to go from sadness to something else in order to break yourselves free of it. You may find that it is easy to love a person who is experiencing and expressing sadness, and that is part of the beauty of it. Sadness elicits compassion and love. You are often held by another when you are experiencing your sadness, and you reach out to another for their sympathy and their compassion. and so you can see how sadness can actually bring people together. And if you allow yourselves to feel it, to express it, and to communicate it to those around you, and that is what we invite you to do. Following your joy. Following the path of your greatest joy can be a nice bumper sticker or refrigerator magnet or fancy Facebook post for all of you. But for many of you, it is an ideal. It is easier for you to acknowledge that following your joy in life is the ultimate in living the way that you want to live than it is for you to actually put that ideal into practice. We understand that. We understand that in the place where many of you are, it seems foolish. It seems irresponsible. It seems unlikely that you'll be able to follow your joy anytime soon. So we want you to look at this differently. We do not want you to decide that following your joy means getting back together with the band that you were in college and touring the world and seeing the drudgery of your life as going back to your 9-to-5 job for yet another week, month, year, and so on. If you compartmentalize things in that way and you then believe the only way for you to pay the rent or mortgage and other bills is to go back to the drudgery of the job, then you are setting yourself up for failure. All we want you to do is to recognize that there is joy, that you are joy, that joy is accessible to you, that in any moment you have the opportunity to take the approach to your life that is boring and monotonous, or you can take the approach to your life that is joyous and fun. It's up to you. It's also true that you do not need to quit your job to follow your other pursuits in life that you want. But if you see that you can only do one thing or the other, and you decide that you must do the boring, monotonous work just to stay alive, then you will never really find the joy within each moment. First, you must decide that joy is what you want. Then you must decide that it is possible, and then you must be joyous, rather than looking for something joyous to find its way to you so that you can feel. You must decide that whatever you are doing can be a version of that following your joy that you ultimately are seeking in every action that you take. So if hitting the road with your college buddies to play various venues around the world is that ultimate joy, then bring that to whatever it is that you're doing. Whatever it is you would be doing on your tour bus and in those performances, bring that to whatever it is you are doing. Do not allow what everyone else is doing to determine what you must do and how you must be. You must decide for yourself what is most important to you, and you must realize that you are the one who is determining and deciding how joyous your life can be. Keeping your vibration shiny and clean. Sending out the frequency that is most reflective of the reality that you would like to experience is what we would consider to be the most important aspect of living your lives right now as humans on this planet. There is no better use of your time. We must have said this before, and we will keep saying it, because we like it when you hear it again and again and again, and then finally let it sink in. You were taught many things in your years as students in school, and many things that you were taught you did not remember initially. You had to be told to study for an exam, and then after you passed that exam, you may have forgotten everything, and so you may have had to relearn everything that you learned before so that you could move on. That is what we are doing here as your teachers. We are giving you information many times in many different ways, from many different angles, because in order for you to move on, you must not only remember, but you must also incorporate that which we are giving you. So when it will be necessary for you to take what we are giving you out of pure philosophy and put it into the nuts and bolts of your experience. When you want to accomplish something in your physical world, you tend to take a certain approach to that activity. And that approach may be one that you have taken many times before. Let us take the example here of brushing your teeth. We assume that all of you brush your teeth, and it is something that you have done so many times that you do not need to think about what is necessary for you to accomplish that task. You simply decide that it is time to brush my teeth, and then you go to where the toothbrush is, and you take out whatever it is you put on the toothbrush, and you put that on the toothbrush, and you brush your teeth, and you spit, and all those things that you do to make sure your teeth are shiny and clean. We want you to take the same approach to offering your frequencies, We want you to do it so consistently and automatically that it is not something that you feel that you need to remind yourself of, or that you need to write down or place on your bathroom mirror so that when you are brushing your teeth you can say, oh yes, also I want to clean my vibration. We are playing with you a little bit here, but not really, because you may hear something 1,000 times before you put it into action, that which you know is true. So make this a regular part of your routine. The awareness of your current vibration, the willingness to feel that vibration, the desire to offer a different vibration, the tuning of yourselves to that vibration, and the holding of that vibration. It is that simple. It is that easy. And it will keep you shiny and clean. Tilt your head slightly. Bringing a new perspective to something will change everything about it and about your experience of it. We want you to let go of all your preconceived notions, of all the beliefs that you hold that are based upon prior experiences. And we want you to give yourselves a chance to reconsider something that you had written off or had believed was somehow inappropriate or not right for you. It is as simple as allowing yourselves to tilt your head slightly and see what it is you are considering from a new angle. We mean that quite literally. If you were to be in observation of something and you were only to see one side of it, you would not have the full picture. You would only be able to take in that which was before you, the information that had presented itself to you as a result of the angle at which you were viewing it. But if you were to look from a different angle or look at a different side, you would see something completely different. You have the ability to do this with concepts, with individuals, with yourselves as well. You may have bought into one angle as the most important one for quite some time. You may have been told that this side is the only side worth seeing, and that it is the only way in which something's value can be determined. But give yourselves a chance here to explore another perspective, another angle, another way of experiencing something that you have experienced before and are quite certain is only going to give you that one note. Begin with yourselves. You take yourselves with you almost everywhere you go. You have a perspective of yourself. You may say to another individual, I am someone who always does this, or I am someone who never gets the lucky draw. I am someone who always forgets numbers or addresses or faces or names. Whatever it is that you're believing about yourself is simply one perspective. Perhaps you're an individual who has forgotten people's names and you are certain that this is a flaw. This is something that is a trait of yours that is completely unchangeable. Well, let us suppose that what you take in when you meet someone is not their name. What you take in is their vibration. You are feeling them and reading their energy without even knowing that this is what you are doing. So you're only aware of the fact that you forget their names 5 seconds after you meet them. But from another perspective, you take in everything that you need to know about that person, your relationship to them, whether or not you want to spend more time with them, whether or not you trust them, and so on. You take that in because that is the most important and pertinent information for you. Names are somewhat irrelevant. So you can see now how you could apply that type of perspective shifting to anything that you're involved with, to anyone that you are in relationship with, to any idea, any institution, any group of individuals. It is possible for you to have brand new understanding, brand new experience if you give yourselves the opportunity to tilt your head slightly. Sticky situations. When you are in the midst of something that you would rather not experience, but that you have no choice, given the fact that it is right there in front of you, the best course of action for you is to let yourselves be completely with that situation. We want you to discover that there is nothing that exists in this universe that you cannot handle. We want you to realize that when you are faced with something that you do not like, that does not please you, that you never would have consciously created for yourselves, that you have before you is an aspect of yourself that you have been unwilling to look at. It may not seem that way to you. That is what it is. So when you are in a situation that you do not prefer and you are looking for ways out of it, just stop, take a breath, and remember that this creation of yours is in service to you in some way. Certainly you can all relate to the idea of growing pains. You know that sometimes in order for you to expand, you must be able to include something that is a little uncomfortable for you at the time. But when you are able to look back at these types of sticky situations, you can usually understand why you needed to create them, how you benefited from them, and how you are so much more equipped to deal with anything that comes your way as a result of those experiences. So you wish to know yourselves as powerful beings, as source energy beings, as beings of love and light. And the best way for you to do that is to know that everything in your reality is an aspect of yourself, a creation of yours, and is there to benefit you. When you have that understanding, that knowing, then everything that you face, every challenge, every ordeal, will be something that you walk away from shiny and new, knowing yourself better than you ever have before, and with the understanding that whatever it is that comes into your life is there to give you that experience of your power and is not there for you to simply brush aside or transcend or make the most of a bad situation. There are no bad situations. There are situations, and you may have a response to those situations, but that does not make them inherently good or bad. You are everything. Everything is within you. The sooner you acknowledge that, and you love everything in your universe as your world, your newborn child, you will be one who walks on air, who gives without question or whether or not they receive, and you will exemplify that which is the essence of unconditional love, unconditional joy, unconditional beingness. We applaud you for your willingness to take on that which may seem overwhelming and may seem scary, but that which is an aspect of all that is, and therefore is comprised of love. Exercising your new powers. So you've begun to transform in many ways. You can see change in your lives, and you expect there to be more to come. You've already begun experiencing fifth-dimensional frequency. You are familiarizing yourselves now with the vibration because you want to work with it in a way that benefits you and those around you. So you're exercising a bit with that new energy and you are getting your feet wet. It is the time for you to apply what you know, what you have learned, because what you are doing here is very important. You are affecting many who cannot even see. So this is why you must be patient with yourselves. You've been told for quite some time that you are the creators of your experience, and this has frustrated many of you who don't feel that you're able to change your circumstances to get what you want, to feel how you want to feel, and so on. And so we ask you to relax a bit. Don't feel the need to get it all right now, to use all your power and to manifest the perfect life. That is part of what it is you are here to experience. You are also here to experience a broad spectrum of emotions, and in so doing, you do service to other aspects of yourself and other individuals throughout the universe. That is why it is necessary for you to spend a bit more time becoming the creators that you have always been, but that you have not yet fully experienced yourselves as. You have come so far, and yet you have always a ways to go, and the best thing that you could ever do at this time is to appreciate where you are, to give thanks for what you have, and to notice the power that you are beginning to play with. Have fun with it. Feel that power and know that this is a process that has been underway since before you were born. We are pleased to watch you grow in this way and to serve you as best we can. This set of channelings by the creators is very unique in that it proposes the idea that you are a being of source, and that this is the actual key to creation, is knowing yourself as a creator being. To put this faster moving energy to work, they explain that we're going through a transitional period, and to really enjoy it and be in the moment, no matter where we're going, what dimension we're moving into, that right now is the best time. To be in this time is the best place. Everything around you is built by your beliefs, and the frequency of your beliefs affects the world around you. And for you to truly enter into this awareness as a source being, you begin to focus on the space between your thoughts. And when you follow your emotions, you do it in a very specific way. They have good guidance on following your joy and what that means. It has to become an unconscious behavior where you're following the template of joy and love on a moment-by-moment basis. part of the process is that you end up in these sticky situations where you're stuck in a situation that you don't want to be in. You don't prefer to be in it, but you have to go through it. And you let yourself be completely with that situation. It becomes a catalyst that allows you to move to that next level. These are aspects of the structure of third density that are inherent in our journey to progress and ascend to the next level. So if you're having struggles with people, maybe you're having arguments, disagreements, you feel abandoned, struggling, understand that they're there for a reason, and you have this amazing ability to manifest anything that you want right now. Now is the time to shine your light and be in this now, beyond the sticky situation, and exercise your new powers. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com, and welcome to The Reality Revolution.